Hey everyone, Live It Like Lisa here. Welcome to another day of Vlogmas. I hope you're all having a great day. I've just finished work for the rest of the year. It is my last day of work. I've finished. I don't go back until around about the 3rd or 4th of January. Oh my God, am I going to enjoy this time off? Wow. Yeah, it's been quite a year. Very busy and definitely need the rest. So I am going to get stuck into part 2 of my Q&A very shortly. But I just wanted to show you some stuff. So Michael and Jessie got back from the storage unit yesterday and brought back, this is all the excess stuff from Mike's mum's place that we didn't get to clear out before the borders closed. So it's currently been all stashed in a storage unit up at Tweed Heads at the moment. So they came back with a full trailer load of stuff that we are obviously going to be getting rid of eventually. There's a few things we're going to keep. So we're definitely going to keep the washer and dryer because they always go on me. And if you can see here how clean it is, it's still got the, what do you call them, the seal tags on it. The plug is literally brand new. I don't even know if this washing machine was even used. And the dryer looks fairly new as well. So I haven't had a dryer for ages. Definitely going to keep the washing machine because I think it's a pretty good brand too. I don't know if you can see it, whatever brand it is. What is it? Oh, it's an LG. Okay. Definitely going to keep that. I think there's a few pieces in here that Jessie wants to keep for when she has a house. So we've got a lot of stuff that we are then now going to get rid of. But the other good thing that we got that I definitely want to keep is an antique chair here as well. But we got a new bed. So this bed was actually from Mike's mum's as well. And it's a freaking fancy bed. I think that it was about, I don't know, thousands of dollars because it's one of those that is like a remote control bed. So the mattress sort of comes up and down and all of that sort of thing. I think this is pretty much brand new as well. I mean, I don't even know if she's even slept on it at all. So pretty much brand new. The bed that we're currently sleeping in, if you guys have been following my vlogs, you know it actually collapsed on us a few months ago. This bed is around about 20 years old. So is the mattress that came with the bed. So it was never a great quality mattress. It was just like the free mattress that came with the bed set when you bought it. And we literally bought this set, I think just before Jessie was born. So it's close to 20 years old, and so is the mattress. Now, I don't know how long you're normally supposed to keep a mattress before you upgrade it or change it, but I think 20 years is probably a good time to change it. So I think we're going to be swapping our beds over. Now, what I plan to do is remove the bed head from this bed and either attach that to the wall somehow, like maybe with a couple of screws or something, attach it to the wall where it is, and then just push this bed up against the bed head. So we've still kind of got the same look, but obviously a better bed. I'm not even that interested in using all the mechanics of it. Like I don't really care that it wants to go up and down, but this mattress just feels absolutely amazing. So I'm quite excited to swap my bed over, and I think I'll probably do that either tomorrow or on the weekend because I've got to clean my sheets anyway. I've only got one set of red Christmas sheets, and this one's actually a lot thicker as well, so I may even need to buy a set of, no, I think that should fit anyway. So yeah, I want to like change my sheets and everything so that it's Christmas ready for Christmas Day and swap the whole bed over. So how exciting. Well, I mean, I'm excited. I don't think anyone else would be excited about, you know, a secondhand bed, but I am. Let me find a nice place to sit and we will get the rest of this Q&A done for you guys before my battery runs out again. All right, so let's get stuck into part 2 of this Q&A because I rambled so much yesterday, we hardly got through any of the questions. First question, we'll just dive right in. Did you close the cafe or sell it? Neither, really. We just moved on. There is someone in there now, like that's taken over. It was just not working out with all the COVID and everything that happened. Where it was in Harrington, Harrington is a very much a touristy town. So very much relies on tourists for a small business to survive, basically. There's not enough people living there that actually use the facilities that are there for any small business to survive. So it heavily relies on tourists. And because we took over the cafe in March 2 years ago, which was when all of COVID hit, we basically took over the cafe, and then about 2 weeks later, the whole COVID thing blew up. So we got shut down. So pretty much every holiday period when all the tourists would normally be heading into Harrington, every single holiday got shut down due to COVID. So we just never ever made any holiday dollars to see the cafe through the quieter times, because you would kind of make all your, say if it's the Christmas holidays, you'd make all your money at Christmas, and then from Christmas through to the next holidays, it would be really quiet. But because you've made your chunk of money at Christmas, that money would then see you through the quieter months. But because we never got that at all through the whole 2 years that we had it, every single holiday got shut down. It was just not worth it for us. It just wasn't making the money that it should have been making, that it's been making for the last 10 years. I mean, I'm sure every other small business was in the same boat. So we no longer have the cafe. It was a shame because it was a lovely little cafe. I mean, it wasn't when we first took over. It was absolutely hideous looking when we took over, but Michael gave it a bit of a facelift, as much of a facelift as we could with no money basically, and it looked really nice at the end. But yeah, the cafe is no longer. You live, you learn, you make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes, you move on. That's just life. So we just chalk it up to one of those things that it just happens. So the next question, what is Mike up to these days? So, well, going along from that, fuck all, he said. Is that what you mouth? Yeah, pretty much. So currently, at the moment, since doing away with the cafe, he's been pottering around. When I say pottering around the house, we've had that many projects that has needed to be done since we moved here. We moved here about 5 years ago, and there's just been so many things that have needed to be done, not only within the house, but in Mike's shed. He's got a lot of vehicles in his shed that he needs to do things with. He's got a lot of projects and things like that he's just never ever had time to do. So pretty much from the time he's given up the cafe until now, he's just been getting all those things done, which, I mean, has been great, because these are things that it's just like for the last 5 years, we've just never had time to get to. So a lot of home projects getting done around the house. There was guttering that needed to be fixed, water tank things that needed to be fixed. What else has there been? Like just property maintenance, you know, maintaining this property. We're on just under 3 acres, and there's just a lot of stuff on the property that we've needed to maintain. What else have you been doing in there? Oh, he's had a lot of things in his shed that he's needed to sell and get rid of, so he's been doing that, getting a lot of those things done that he's just never had time to do in the last 5 years. I mean, and then we've also had his mum's death to deal with and everything that comes along with that, with her house and all of that. It's been pretty hectic. Like, it's not like he's just sat around watching Netflix. Well, he does. He actually does wake up and sits and watches Netflix until about lunchtime. But then from lunchtime to 3 o'clock, it's full steam ahead. Like, but nah, I mean, he's been getting heaps done. Like, I mean, all my little honey to-do lists, they've all been done, so I can't complain. I'm super happy. But I think starting next year, he's going to be probably doing his own little thing, like essential property maintenance. So basically like a handyman type thing. So he doesn't want it to be like a full-time job. He just wants it odd jobs here and there. And he's never ever had a regular Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job where he gets public holidays off, where he gets weekends off. Not once since the day we were going out, and probably before we were even going out, he's always had jobs where he's had to work every holiday, every public holiday, all through the weekends. It's just we've never really had a chance to do stuff as a family because of that, because every weekend he'd be working, or when he was in the police, nearly every Christmas and New Year he'd be working, and any of the public holidays when police needed to be sort of there, he was working. So he just wants to basically just start winding down and, you know, just doing odd jobs here and there whenever it sort of suits him. Yeah, that's basically his life now. Is like, I just call him Riley from now on. I actually think Riley would wish he had his life because he's got the good life, and I'm the one holding up the fort now. So I think next year he's probably going to be more focused on getting his business card out there and getting his name out there, and doing a bit of like handyman type services for people in the area. So that's what he's up to these days, and I enjoy him being at home, getting stuff done around the house. I like to write my little to-do list for him each morning, going, okay, these are the things I need done today. Yeah, nagging him. No, it's been good. It's been a little bit of a struggle for the last 6 months, but hopefully once we sell Mike's mum's house, we can put a chunk of money on the mortgage, and hopefully that will ease the financial burden a bit. So yeah, we're hoping it will work out good. So we definitely don't want to go into any sort of business like a cafe or anything like that. At least with the home maintenance business, he's already got everything he needs to be able to do everything. Like, he's got ride-on lawn mowers, he's got regular lawn mowers, he's got every tool that Bunnings ever sells. So he's already basically set up to be a handyman, and he is very handy. He does everything from lights to painting to flooring to fencing to mowing and everything in between. He can do whatever you want. Building furniture, you know, he's just one of those guys that's, yeah, really handy like that. So that's what he's up to. And again, it's 2 questions and we're already 10 minutes in, so I just can't help myself. Next question. What do you miss most from coming from the city to the country?
Nothing.
Not a lot. Honestly, no, not really. Yeah, I could never ever live back in suburbia or back in like built up sort of areas. Not at all. Even this area where we are now, I mean, each of the properties where we are, we're on about 3 acres. And already to me, that's starting to feel like, oh, everyone's too close. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really miss a lot. The only thing I would probably miss is just accessing things that we would take for granted in the city. Like here, just basic things are just not always readily available like they are in Sydney. When we're living in Liverpool, I mean, you've got huge Westfields, you've got tool shops and car things, and, you know, just simple things like when we need car parts. Normally we could have just gone literally 5 minutes down the road and got any kind of car part you needed for your car, whereas here you could drive half an hour to Taree, an hour to Port, like an hour and a half to Foster, and still not find a simple basic car part that you need. So little things like that I miss, but I'm happy to sacrifice that to live where I live. So yeah, I'm definitely not a city type of girl. I definitely like to be a lot more isolated. Next question, how are the kids going with their driving lessons? Well, pretty slow actually. I think Jamie's only had literally 1 lesson since I last vlogged him. When I vlogged him having his first lesson, that's all the lessons he's had. And I've told both the kids they need to be the ones proactive in getting these lessons. Like, they need to be the one that says, hey Dad, let's go for half an hour, go for a drive. But they're just not doing it. So you can only push them so far. They've got to be a bit more proactive in getting stuff done. So yeah, they're both on their L's now. And I think in the new year, Jessie wants to sign up for some actual private proper lessons with a driving instructor, maybe half a dozen lessons just before she goes for her P plates. just to make sure that everything that she knows is she's doing it actually correctly. Whereas Jamie, I don't know, his PlayStation games are more important than anything at the moment. So yeah, he's had one single lesson so far. Next question. Did you have to buy a new TV? So if you guys have been following me for a while, you know our theatre room TV just died. We don't know why. We don't know what happened. It was basically a brand new TV. I mean, we'd had it for quite a few years, still brand new in the box. And then once we finally did put it on the wall and have it all going, it probably only lasted a couple of months, not even 6 months, I would say. And it just went black one day. And Michael's pulled it apart. It's still sitting apart now in our theatre room and just can't find why it's not working. We haven't bought a new TV yet. I have a feeling we probably will be buying a new TV. Well, Michael refuses. I think he'd rather spend $1,500 getting this one fixed than buying a new one for $1,000. We'll see. It's still not fixed yet though, but that's, yeah. Okay, next question. Are you still changing your handbags every season? The short answer to that is no. I mean, since I don't leave the house, I just don't feel the need to do that. I haven't really used a handbag for so long, and when I do, I basically just pick up the one closest to me and go. And when I was doing my whole Simplified Life series, where I was decluttering a lot of the stuff from my house, I decluttered them all. So I think I've only left myself with, I think, 2 bags, and that's basically it. And I just, yeah, I'm not doing it for the seasons anymore, you know, because I used to coordinate everything in my bag with the bag for the season. Yeah, I just don't have the energy to do that anymore. So I've got rid of all that. I just carry the bare basics now. If I do need to take a bag, all it will have in it is my phone and my wallet, and that is basically it. So yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. That's all gone. Next question. What are your plans over Christmas, and what do you guys do on Christmas Day? Well, our plans this year for Christmas are pretty much the same as every year, is to do as little as possible, eat as much as we can, and that's basically it. For us, Christmas Eve is our main Christmas day. So we normally have a big dinner on Christmas Eve and open all our presents Christmas Eve. And that's just with our own immediate family. Then Christmas Day, we normally spend that with my dad. So we'll go up to my dad's, take him his presents. And last year we did a traditional turkey dinner at my dad's, but I mean, I just spent pretty much the whole freaking day in the kitchen and then had to wash everything up afterwards. So I don't really want to do that again this year. I just want to be able to relax as well. So I think this year we might be just doing like a barbecue, just take some steaks and stuff up and a few salads, and maybe get a couple of kilos of prawns, and that will probably be our Christmas Day with my dad. And that's basically it. Yeah, so it'll be nice because Michael's off this Christmas. He doesn't have to work. When he was in the police, we very rarely got Christmas or New Year's together. And then when he had the cafe, he'd be closed Christmas Day, but he'd be working both the days before and after. So yeah, at least this year he'll be able to actually just sit and relax for those few days with us. So yeah, we're very low key. We don't normally travel anywhere anyway. Even before the whole COVID thing, we were never really a family that really went anywhere as far as a holiday or anything like that. Christmas for us is more of a low-key, relaxing at home type affair. We're not real big travelers anyway. Like even beforehand, we didn't really do a lot of trips. Like we've done a few camping trips over the years, but yeah, not like we've done, you know, mega trips here and there. More so for us, the holidays are just about staying at home and doing nothing. Next question. Oh, that's one for Jessie. So I might actually pull her out in a minute. I'll answer all the ones I can answer, and then I'll grab Jessie. I'll have to see if she's in the mood for answering questions, because it's very hit and miss with her. If it's a hard no, we're not going to get anything out of her. If she's in the mood, she'll come out and be funny. Next question. Will you ever visit the UK and go back to your roots? I would love to. In all honesty, I don't think it's ever going to happen though. I mean, I'd really love to, but it's not something in me where I think, oh my God, it's something I have to do before I die. Like, I definitely don't want to die before traveling. Like, I'm not really that fussed, but yeah, it would be nice just to see where I was actually born and, you know, where my mum and dad used to live and all of that sort of thing. And I still have, like a few family members in England that you know, that I still know and that sort of thing. I've got, I mean, the rest of my family is all in England that I've never even met, but yeah, I do have an auntie and 2 cousins that I know, so yeah, it would be lovely to see them again. But yeah, I don't see it happening, because I mean, I'd have to get over my fear of flying as well. I just can't see myself getting on a plane either. I'm absolutely terrified of planes. And that all came from when we were coming over to Australia. Our plane hit an air pocket and like dropped, you know, a few hundred feet, whatever it does. But just prior to hitting the air pocket was when they were serving dinner. So everyone had all their dinner and everything on their trays. And then the plane hit an air pocket and then just dropped and everything just flew up. And I was 4 at the time and it terrified me. And I mean, I don't really remember it too much, but my mum said from that moment on, I just slept the whole way. Like, I would not leave my seat, and I actually wet the seat and everything. Like, I just did not wake up. I think I was just so terrified. I just put myself to sleep and just would not wake up until we got there. And I mean, if anyone's been from Australia to England, I think that's about a 24-hour flight or something like that. It was pretty long. So yeah, and the stewardesses and that were quite worried about me, actually saying, you know, you sure she's all right? And yeah, I think that actually traumatized me, because ever since then I've just been absolutely terrified of planes. And it doesn't help that I really enjoy watching air crash investigations either. I mean, that probably doesn't help, but it's kind of a morbid obsession that sort of feeds my soul, that says, this is why I don't like planes. This is proof right here why I don't want to go on a plane. But yeah, so long story short, unless there's another way to get there, I can't see myself getting on a plane. Maybe when I'm 80 and by that time it doesn't matter if I die, I might get on a plane. But while I've still got a bit of life left in me, I just don't want to chance it. So yeah. Next question. Have you done DIYing since you were young or discovered your amazing talents as an adult? Well, thank you if you think my talents are amazing. I have always been a very creative and artistic kid. Like, I've always loved art and craft from being really little. Like, I always was coloring. I was one of those kids that would sit and color in for hours on end. I'd make projects at home by myself. I'd be borrowing books from the library because we didn't have Google or YouTube tutorials back then, but I'd borrow books from the library on how to make craft projects and stuff like that, and I'd just sit and make those on the weekend. So yeah, I was always a really crafty and artistic kind of kid. I just loved it. Like, I just really enjoyed it. So I found a couple of pictures as well of my bedroom when I was a kid. I think maybe I was about 10 at the time. And I made, my mum had bought me I found some material at an op shop. It was like this floral pinky kind of material. And I absolutely loved it. And my mum bought it for me. And I sat on the floor in our lounge room and I made a set of frilly curtains. This is all for my bedroom. I made some frilly curtains for my window, a doona cover, a pillowcase with frills around it. And I also made some, you know how you have those like round tables and you put a cloth over it, like to dress it up. I made quite a few of those because I had a couple of those in my room. And what else did I make? I can't remember now. I think then I also made like a little throw cushion as well. All just sat on the floor in the lounge room with the sewing machine on the floor, no patterns, nothing to work from, just what I thought this is how you do it in my head. I was about 10 at the time. And yeah, I just made this whole thing for my room. And my mum's sitting there going, what are you making? And like, how can you be sitting on the floor making that? Like, you need to be on a table, you need to do it properly, you need to measure things. And I'm like, nah, it's good, I know what I'm doing. And yeah, I was about 10. I look at it now and think, freaking hell, I don't even know how I did it. I don't think I could make a frilly pillowcase now, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not sure what got into my head or how I thought I knew how to do that, but it all turned out pretty good. So yeah, my mum was pretty shocked. Once I'd finished everything and put it all up, she's like, she couldn't believe her eyes. I've always been very creative and love doing craft and art and stuff like that. Neither of my kids enjoy it at all. They don't have the patience or a creative bone in their body. It's just not something they enjoy doing. The closest Jessie ever got to being creative was she got a bit obsessed with the diamond painting for a little while. But other than that, she just doesn't enjoy it. She's not into it at all. So yeah, I think that creative, my mum was quite creative and artistic. She did a lot of, like, she wasn't creative as in making projects or furniture makeovers or anything like that, but she did love to draw and paint. So I think maybe I got that from her. Next question, do your kids get Christmas through New Year's Day off like we have in the US? Okay, so for us, our school year goes from January to December. So technically, the school year starts round about the 1st of February, right? So they start in February, they have school for 10 weeks, and then they have 2 weeks off, which is usually the Easter break. Then they have another 10-week block of school. Then they have 2 weeks off again, which is the winter break. Then they have another 10 weeks of school. Then they have another 2-week break, which is the October holidays. Then they have another 10-week block of school. And then they get 6 weeks off, which is December through to all of January and then the last 2 weeks of December. Because our summer is over the Christmas period, they've typically finished their school this week. Well, I think Jamie's school technically finishes tomorrow, but I don't think he's gone to school all week, to be honest. And usually the last week, they're not doing anything anyway, so I don't really care that much. They will have finished school this week, and then they don't go back to school till the start of February, depending on where the days lie. This is our summertime now over the Christmas period, so that's why they get their biggest break. Next question, who are your favorite YouTubers? Okay, well, I've got a couple of categories of YouTubers, so I'll go through the categories that I have. First of all, my 2 besties on YouTube are Shell from Shell's Glam Home. She's another fellow Aussie YouTuber. And the other bestie I have on YouTube is Claire from Claire's Crafty Corner. She's in the UK. They are just my 2 favorites on YouTube. Like, they could be just sat there eating a bowl of Brussels sprouts, watching Netflix, and I'll sit and watch them. It wouldn't matter. I just love them as people. It doesn't matter what they're doing on their channel. I just watch them anyway. So Claire her channel is all around, centers around craft projects. She does a lot of resin type of projects and wood turning. So I'll leave a link to both their channels down below if you want to check them out. And Shell from Shell's Glam Home, she's a fellow Aussie. She does a lot of home decor and DIY projects for around your home. She has her style is like glam, farmhouse, she combines quite a few different styles and just always seems to make it work. Like, no matter how many styles she has going, it always looks so immaculate and so beautiful. So yeah, Shell does quite a lot of like home DIYs and that sort of thing. So if you enjoy that, definitely check out my 2 besties down below. Now, as far as vloggers go, so family vloggers or YouTube vloggers, my absolute favorites are Fearfully Created, The Wads. I've just recently discovered Emma Chamberlain. She is just amazing. Like, she's only a young girl, like I think she's in her early 20s. and her style of vlogging I absolutely love, and I just love her editing style. It's amazing. I just really, yeah, love her channel to death. And the thing is like, she'll vlog about doing absolutely nothing. Like, she'll have a 15-minute vlog of her making herself a cup of coffee, but you're thoroughly entertained the whole time you're watching it. She's just really gifted. I just love her. And I've only just recently discovered her, but she's massive. And I'll leave a link to all these channels below, so if you want to check them out, leave links. That makes it easy to find them. Another person I've only just discovered is another fellow Aussie called Jazz Hand. She's like a beauty lifestyle vlogger here in Australia as well. She's only a young girl as well, but I've just found myself drawn to her channel, so I enjoy watching her. Another one I watch is another fellow Aussie, and I've just recently discovered her as well, even though she's quite big on YouTube. The Sunday Stylist. I really enjoy her channel. Hers is a lot of just lifestyle vlogging as well. She's a mum with 2 boys, and yeah, she does a lot of organizing and home maintenance and things like that, so I really enjoy her. And the other channel I enjoy as far as a vlogger is Rachel Leah. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. She's another fellow Aussie, but she's actually residing in Canada at the moment. So I've been following her for quite a while, and I just really enjoy her content as well. And the other 2 that I really love watching for home decor type things are Miranda Christina, I think her name is, and Homemade Vintage. I just love their style of decor. They were sort of the ones that really inspire me to do that whole vintage farmhouse look. Even though I've just given up on it in my house, I just think, nah, my house is too modern. That style doesn't go. I'm just going to stick to my own style of what I love, what I like. And I actually find I'm much happier now, but I still just love looking at everything that they do. They decorate so beautifully, and it's all vintagey, thrift store type finds, and yeah, I just love their style. So they're a few of my favorite YouTubers. They're kind of my go-tos. I mean, I've got a whole list of ones that I'm subscribed to, but I generally, every time I see those ones come up, they'll be the first ones that are in my watch later list. Next question. Oh, this is a good one, and I've been thinking about this for a while. It says, what is your guilty pleasure or pleasures? And I've been thinking about it for days, and I can't come up with anything, because I just feel like if it's something that brings you pleasure, why would you feel guilty about it? Like, I couldn't, it wouldn't matter to me. Like, if I enjoy sitting and eating a bag of chips and a bloody kilo of chocolate while watching Netflix for 3 days in a row, and that brings me pleasure, I'm not gonna feel guilty about that. I'm gonna freaking do that for 3 days. So yeah, I don't know what my guilty pleasure would be, because anything that brings me pleasure, I definitely don't feel guilty about. But the one thing that I have discovered only just in the last 2 weeks or so, and I guess would probably come under this category, is another YouTube channel that I've just started watching. And it's kind of a guilty pleasure, because I feel guilty about enjoying it, because it's probably not nice. The channel is called the Dad Challenge Podcast. Now, this guy basically roasts different other family vloggers. I think his whole thorn in his side is family vloggers that exploit their children to make money off them for their content. So that's the kind of thorn in his side as to why he's doing this. But his style of vlogging, or he doesn't vlog, he just sits there and analyzes another family vlogger's videos and basically picks it apart and says why what they're doing is wrong and why it's wrong. And it's just it's just his style of doing it. It really makes me laugh. And I mean, I would never ever publicly do that. But I feel guilty for enjoying watching into it, if that makes any sense, because it's kind of like he's roasting him, and he's just very clever with the stuff that he comes up with and the way he edits his film. It just he really makes me laugh. So yeah, I've just only recently discovered him in the last couple of weeks. A lot of the families that he talks about I've never even heard of before, and I haven't even seen them, so a lot of it's probably not as funny if you don't know the family that you're watching. So I've gone through his videos and just picked out a few of the families that I actually do know and that I have watched, so I kind of get where he's coming from when he's roasting him. And my God, it's funny. He's really funny. I mean, his sense of humor really appeals to me. I love sarcastic humor. I mean, I know they reckon it's the lowest form of wit, but to me, it's the freaking funniest form of humor. I just love it. So yeah, the channel is called the Dad Challenge Podcast. So check him out if it's something you enjoy. But like I said, it's something I feel bad enjoying watching that, because it's putting other people's channels down. But yeah, I don't know, I just find him really funny. Just the stuff he comes up with I find is really funny. So that's probably my biggest guilty pleasure at the moment. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention too is when I was telling the story yesterday about when me and Michael first met. The funny thing is, before we met, right, his parents, where he lived, was literally probably a 10-minute walk from my house, maybe 10-15 minutes walk from my house, right? And it wasn't until we started going out together that he actually mentioned this. He said that he basically used to walk past my house every single day on the way to school, because his high school was like, you know, he had to pass my house to get to his high school. I think his high school was about a half-hour walk from his house. So he basically passed my house to get there. So he was walking past my house 2 times a day, like all through high school, and yet we never met prior to me starting karate, which is really weird. And he said the only reason he remembers that was my house is because at the time I had a big Labrador dog, and it was behind gates, but every time people would walk by, he would bark at them. And so he said he remembers always being barked at by my dog when he was walking past. And I just think, oh my God, like, you know, that sort of sliding doors moment, how our paths must have crossed. But I mean, well, if he was going to high school, like when he started high school, I was starting kindy. So I'm sure like a 13-year-old wouldn't even be noticing a 5-year-old running around. But yeah, it's quite possible we did actually see each other in passing even before we ever met. So I just thought that was really interesting. So I'll go check with Jessie to see if she is in the mood to do any questions, and I'll come back. All right, so I had to bribe her with some pods, but she's here. Not quite in the mood, but we'll see what we get out of her. Now, first question. Now that your daughter is graduating, what are her future plans? So what are your future plans, apart from sponging off your mum and sleeping until lunchtime?
Well, that's about it.
There you have it, folks. Okay, question 2. So what's your plan for next year? I mean, I know this year is pretty much to bludge as much as possible and do as little as possible.
Next year as well.
Next year's the same, pretty much. Do you have any plans for next year? Why did I bring you here? Freaking hell. How are you going with your driving lessons?
Great.
This is not how I planned this going. It was supposed to be entertaining.
Isn't this not? You're fucking laughing.
Yeah, and how bad this is going.
Oh, that's entertaining, isn't it?
What's Jessie looking forward to now that she's finished high school?
Retiring.
Retiring. Now that you've finished high school, you're planning your retirement. That'd be bloody right. Are you still wanting to do like your veterinary kind of nurse or vet nurse or something like that? Or you're not really into that at the moment? No. What do you think you want to do as a job? Like,
I have no idea.
As little as possible for as much money as I can get.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans? I don't think so. Are you still planning on wanting to go to Tasmania, like move to Tasmania and do that whole off the grid thing? Yeah, okay. So she's got no idea what she wants to do for a job. She's got no idea where she's going to live.
I want to live in Tasmania.
She wants to live in Tasmania, but she's got no idea how to do it and how to get there. Well, I don't know. That's all I had for you, and you're just boring. Like, she's basically doing nothing with her life, apart from making a mess. Literally. So, like, what's your hopes for Christmas?
Go to America.
What? Don't be... You know we can't. So basically, Jessie's got no idea what she wants to do with her life. She looks like she's not in the mood to even think about it. So there's your answer, folks. It's just one day at a time at this stage. We just plan to wake up before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, get some shit done for half an hour, and then have a lie down from all the exertion. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to rush. Anyway, there's no rush about what you need to decide to do. I'm happy to have you at home till you're 30, till you get married and move out. You reckon you're going to get married? No.
That's gross.
Well, you could have a relationship like me and Dad. Like, how amazing would that be?
Are you being for real?
Yeah, we got a great relationship, don't we? Like, we're just happy with each other every day. We don't bicker or fight. Like, we're just always happy, joy. Have a look at him. Look at that.
I'd rather be alone for the rest of my life.
I don't know, you weren't much good. I didn't get anything out of you that I wanted to.
What did you want?
I don't know, something.
I didn't get what I wanted out of you. What did you want? I don't know.
I thought you'd like talk and stuff and have all these ideas and dreams and hopes and, you know.
Okay, let's start again.
Okay, let's cut. Take
Let's
two.
do it again.
Okay, so, hey Jessie, how are you today?
I am so great today.
Oh, I'm so glad you could join me.
Yeah, I was pretty busy, but I decided to make time just for you.
I know, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's okay.
Really appreciated.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, your time...
It's very precious to me.
It is, yeah. And you don't have a lot of it because of all that you do all day.
I know.
So anyway, I won't keep you too long, but we just have a couple of questions that, that your fans have asked for. So first question, now that your daughter is graduating, what are her future plans?
Well, I have done my HSC and I have aced all my exams and I got into law school in Harvard. So I'm going to go over there next year. I'm just going to spend as much time with my lovely family as possible right now. And then I'll go over there and...
Well, what about your humanitarian project where you needed to go to a third world country and help orphan children? When were you fitting that into your busy schedule?
Oh yes, I was doing that next year also. And I'm going to convert to like online studying as I go over there.
Right, that is a really fantastic idea. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you're just thinking of others all the time.
I love other people so much.
Why? Okay. Let's try that one again without me laughing. I just love that you're always thinking of others and helping others.
I just love people so much. I want to help.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
I just want to help them all that I possibly can.
And then while you're at Harvard, are you planning on having any extracurricular activities?
Of course. Like, that shouldn't even be a question. It's just a given.
Okay, that's great. And world peace? Are you going to be ending world peace as well?
I will be ruling the world.
Ending world peace. Ending world peace. What the fuck?
I think you meant world hunger.
That's the one. We want world peace and ending world hunger.
That
one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds really good. It sounds like you've got your life together really.
Oh, definitely.
Like, for such a young person, you're so mature and like you just had everything. You've got your path. You're on the right track to your future. Like, it's really, really commendable that a young person such as yourself is so determined with her life.
Yes. I want to make the most of it.
I'm so proud of you. question. Okay, second question. How are your driving lessons going?
I have already got my full license.
Wow, that's so good. And you did so many of them. Like every day you were like on to your dad going, come on, we need to do it. And
we need to be proactive.
Exactly. Yeah. And you just were. You just went and grabbed the bull by the horns and and it paid off, didn't it? Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. That's really, really great. Is there anything else you want to add to this interview? Anything that you want your fans to know about you?
It's all a lot.
So there you have it, folks. This is Jessie. I hope you enjoyed her interview. If you have any more questions for Jessie that you want answered, don't forget to leave them in the comments below, and she'll be more than happy to come on again and spend her time answering my questions. That's it. See you later.
You happy now?
Yeah, I'm happy now. That didn't take much, did it? That's all right.
I'm exhausted.
Are you? Go have a lie down. Come on, go have a lie down. Take your pods with you. You can eat them in bed. Don't worry about the crumbs. I'll vacuum them up later.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do you.
You need to change my bed sheets.
Do I? Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. Now that I've finished work, I have a lot more time that I can do it more frequently for you. You know, rather than once a week. I can do it on the daily. Yeah. Yeah, because you know you can't sleep in sheets that you've slept in already.
That's just
it's
disgusting.
Gross. So I'll have plenty of time now that I'm not working.
I have humanity and shit.
I can actually wait on you 24 hours a day now. Like you
so
won't even need to get out of bed anymore because I don't work. Just you've got the bell.
Exactly.
Just ring it. Like when you wake up at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Just ring your bell. Let me know, and I'll bring breakfast in.
Yeah.
And if you need a foot massage or something while you're in the bed having your breakfast,
that'd be great.
I can do that for you. Because I've got heaps of time now.
Yeah.
I don't need to spend any of it on myself.
Yeah.
I just dedicate my life to you and in your endeavours and getting you moving forward in your life. Yeah. Because
that's just the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly. Because, what mother is not doing that for their daughter?
Exactly.
I could not even imagine.
You'd be awful, a horrible parent if you didn't.
Yeah, and imagine if, I vlogged that I wasn't doing any of that. Like, people would call docs or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So you go have a little lie down now, and I'll let you know when dinner's ready, and if you don't feel up to coming out to the dinner table, I'll bring it in for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. No worries. Thanks, Jess.
I'll see you when you bring me my dinner.
No problem. You're the best.